Oh, easy.
Hello and welcome back to episode number 8 of the Road to 200kg deadlift. In this episode is some heavy doubles this week. So last week it was heavy triples at 135 for 3. This week we're doing 145 for 2 reps. Now for this session I had about 4 hours sleep. I was like quite fatigued because I haven't slept that much. I was like, oh, we were lifting heavy today, and when I was doing them, they felt really like heavy, and I felt like the speed was really slow on the lifts. But looking back at them now, they weren't that slow. They were pretty quick for the weight. I mean, this is very close to my PB, which is 150 for a couple. So seeing how quick 145 is moving for a couple is really good to me as well. Really boosts my confidence as well. And yeah, I was happy with the lifts. Looking back on it now, when I was doing the session, it felt like really heavy, slow, and as you can see, wearing a belt in a few of these. I thought, well, I'm past the 140 mark, which I said I'll start wearing a belt at. I thought I'd put a belt on for the last few sets because it felt quite heavy and need every advantage I can get. And on the last set, I decided to up it to 150 for 2. Because as you know, my previous PB is 150 for 2 as well. So I thought, well, I'll put on an extra 2.5 kilos each side to see how it compares to my old PB, which I set 2 months ago. See how that lift is in comparison. As you can see, the old one on the screen. And it's slower, this one, my old PB, compared to my new one. As you can see, there's like a long pause as well between them. And as you can see from this, my new, well, the 150 that I done for a couple in this episode is much quicker than the one I done previously. In fact, it's about 5 seconds, and on the ascend it's quicker as well. And obviously pausing in between reps, there's a shorter pause as well. There's nothing wrong with having like a longer pause between sets, as long as it's not too long, I believe, because it is important to like reset, brace properly as well, because you don't want to be not bracing, because then you lose your balance and that can be detrimental. So after that 5 sets of heavy doubles, there are 2 more sets of 120kg for 4, and these moved really quick as well, considering I've just moved a hell of a lot of weight to do 120 for 4. Pretty good as well. I mean, the only accessory I'm using here is chalk. No belt. Don't think it's really needed for such a low weight. Almost, I always said about 140kg plus, and I'll start using like a belt for my deadlifting. But these felt fine. Obviously, the last rep on the last set moving a bit slow. So that was Tuesday's session out the way, and then Thursday's session is 120 for 5 here. Now, I'll be honest, I was smoked for this session. I just done pause squatting, benching, Larsen press. I was pretty knackered, and I'd done kickboxing the night before, but I was like, no, I still have to do the work, get it done. So it was 120 for 5, and as you can see me using chalk, I thought, well, I'm going to use an accessory, because I just feel a bit knackered. But when I was doing a warm-up, I done a warm-up of 100, just for a couple, and it felt really heavy in my hands. But looking back on it now, yeah, this isn't the most prettiest of deadlifting session I'll ever do. I mean, I'm still able to do 120 for 5 2 days after doing 7 sets of deadlifting, and then the previous night I was out kickboxing using my legs. Obviously that takes a lot out of you as well, but these were moving fine. I'm happy with them. I'm happy that I'm able to still lift the weight despite having like a heavy session on benching and squatting, that I can still like pick up, move the weight, no problem as well. But yeah, I didn't mind it. But obviously I'm deadlifting 3 times a week as well, so that's quite taxing, because deadlifting for me is the most taxing exercise you can do. I'm just quite knackered from it as well. But it is my best lift, so I'm always looking forward to the next time I'm deadlifting, so I can address little stuff in my form as well. As you can see, I've been using a lot of the chest up, chest forward, letting the bar rest in my hand so it's heavy as well, which has helped a lot, rather than when I go to pull the slack out and then pull the bar up. It can be quite heavy as well. So the first set out the way there. Now we're moving on to the second set from a side view as well. And as you can see, that one, the first rep, it is slow compared to like other times that I've lifted. But what seems to happen on deadlifts and other lifts as well, that the first rep may not be the best or prettiest, but by the time the second or third, it's like up to speed. I don't know whether it's just me or does that happen to anyone else like yourself. Because I don't know, maybe the first rep I'm just like getting used to it, and the reps after I'm like, oh well, I know what I'm doing now. And moving on to the next day, so Friday, we're doing pause deadlifts, and these are 115 for 5. As you can see, these are moving quick, but too quick. The pause is not long enough. I was with my coach at the time, and he pointed it out, and I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm kind of like just pausing for like a millisecond, if that. It's not like a big pause, and like on the last rep you can see it's a bigger pause, but that's because I'm getting a bit tired. And obviously after that set he said, oh, pause a little longer just so your hips don't shoot up. And as you can see, it's a longer pause as well. Like, this all matters as well, addressing little things. So with the short pause, like, my hips are shooting up. With the longer pause, it's like everything moves as one, because you don't want your hips shooting up in the deadlift, because then you're going to get in trouble. You might get injured. So going into this session, I wanted to do 130 because maybe my ego, probably definitely my ego, was like, oh, we're doing 5x5, and last week we done sets of 3 and I done 120 and I've done 125. But I reckon if I done 135, I would have been pretty smoked and tanked after the second set, and maybe had to load the weight, which I don't want to do. So I think doing 115 for 5 was the sensible option. As you can see, with the side view, slowing down that pause, it looks like from this side view like I'm in prison or something. As you can see, the hips are moving all as one, everything's moving as one, rather than like a quick pause where it hasn't been. But overall for this week, I enjoyed this week as well. It was nice to do some heavy doubles. I'm very happy that I was able to do 150 for 2 as well. And also with my old PB, I remember this was at the end of a session, so I'd done 2 sets of 140 for 3 reps and 145 for 3 reps, sorry. 5 reps for 140 kg, and then at the end I've done 150 for 2. So it's very similar in fatigue levels as well with this week. So I've done 145 for 8 reps, and then doing 150 for 2 as well. So it's good to manage, good to see how much progress I've made. And I reckon if we were to max out now or something, I reckon I'll probably get 170 for a single. I think that's a good number right now. Obviously we want to work up to 200, and we're not cashing in now on my program as well. It's a 16-week program, and at the end we will max out, see where I'm at, and I'm pretty confident that we can get really closer to 200, if not the 200, with how everything working, how I'm feeling on the deadlift. Like I said, it's my favourite lift out of the big 3. But this has been it for episode number 8 of the Road to 200 kg deadlift. Please like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next episode. See you later.